recently over the weekend, there's been a whole little topic about journalism
Yeah.
and how journalists. It's like I guess it's like really pure journalism or purist journalism. I would say it's kind of like a gone or foreign type of media,
Yeah, yeah.
or at least the traditional way. It's kind of gone, especially within hip hop media, and so Russ has taken to Twitter and he actually tweeted about how journalism is and why artists really wouldn't want to do journalism because of all the, I guess, all the barriers that are in front of it, aka one like him having to pay for some of the interviews that he's done,
Yeah.
or how he has to facilitate it, or how like it's a lot of like money pushed behind it just for someone to talk about the music and not just a lot of the gossipy stuff.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people were trying to go back and forth with him over this weekend about it. I'm trying to find the
Yeah, but I
tweet.
didn't understand why they was trying to go at him because he paid for an interview when he was trying to be beneficial to help the journalists as well.
Yeah, he even said it before. Like he paid. You guys beat that. He said I paid for a few of them interviews.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm trying to find it because he talked about it. And it was really really.
And
good.
I was just thinking that when most people want to do that, like in this, I'm saying in this generation, like when you want somebody to pay you to interview them in a way, like how would you look at that in a way of like this artist helping me? Because like we're not actually getting artists like that to interview in this climate.
I told you these artists we don't have no superstars because it's like everybody wants to be cool and mysterious.
Yeah.
But here's a tweet that Russ said: "Respected journalists want artists to do interviews with them. Makes sense. But here's the issue: one, most artists don't have their own platform, so that somewhat forces the artist to fund and produce the interview themselves." He said, "I've done it to see the value in it, but I understand if an artist doesn't want to pay for their own interview. I mean, I understand as well.
Yeah.
I'm paying you to ask me
Interview
questions.
yeah.
Like, come on, dog. Then I got to pay for the cameras, the
Yeah.
mic equipment, setup, and all that
It's a
stuff.
loss for me.
Exactly, because it's like,
But
let's
I'm
be
doing
real.
this as an investment. Maybe it can be a gain. Maybe our platforms could, mesh well and it can go out.
I think for people with a dedicated fan base, but
Yeah.
I mean, to be real, when was the last time you really went to like an artist interview?
Man, it's been a minute. Like,
Same.
see me, I'm pretty sure I listen to more interviews than you, but like, we're in the access generation, access journalism generation right now. When like people interview people they know, I have access to this person. Like, you got Joe Budden, you got Nori, you got Wallow, you got Wallow and
Gilly.
Gilly. It's more
Charlamagne the God.
Charlamagne the God,
High 97.
High 97. So you got these radio stations, you got these other personalities that they have relationships with labels. They have relationship with the people managers. It's the access to it. But most of these people are not traditional journalists. They're rappers. They probably was singers or something. Like you got the R&B podcast with Tank and them. See, they got
Money
relationships
talk.
with these
R&B
people.
talk.
So it's hard to compete with these people because they know these people. They know the people that's around them. They can get them to their platforms. Like Joe Budden and Doechii, because he's cool with like punching them over there in Top Dog. He can, they have access to the people. So pure journalism are mostly freelancers. They not working for Double XL, the source. They freelancing. So at this point, I think they're in a better situation, in my opinion, because in both ends, you don't need to actually discuss the artist actually being around you. You don't have to interview them. You can speak on an artist without them even knowing you. Like, it's the whole academics perspective. I don't need you. I don't have to talk to you. I'm gonna make money talking about you regardless. Like, Act never met Drake. He's labeled as this big Drake fan, and everything that's consumed that we hear anything about Drake is from academics. And he's technically a journalist now. We're technically doing journalism, you know what I'm saying?
No,
but
we
it's,
are
but
journalists.
I'm
I
saying,
looked at the definition.
Yeah, but it's different now. It's a new era, and I feel like the strong will survive. Look at Elliot, one of the top journalists in hip hop, especially in the last 30 years, and him being like a freaking he was a VP or he was like the top chief of journalism at like Double XL. And Act was,
That's the source, I think.
Yeah, and Elliot was saying, I want to compete. I'm older in this generation, but just because I'm an OG, I still want to compete with the young guys. So what I like about Elliot is he makes his own platforms. He now he has the bigger picture. He had him and B-Dot, Rat Radar.
He also has another the Wilson experience or something like that.
And he do interviews. It's like he's out there competing with the new generation. Like you can say, oh, he an old head, but like he's still out here competing because you know you have to. All the other journalists, bro, that was around, they actually doing something else now. They probably, most of them not even in the same field. So
Rosenberg.
what you mean Rosenberg? He still interviewing stuff. He's still Hot 97. He's the first hip hop podcast.
No, but I'm saying like, have
Why
you
not?
seen how?
He loves wrestling and stuff. He talks about that a lot.
Nah,
What else he
because
do?
DJ Academics was getting on him. Well, no, he actually is beefing with DJ Academics because of what he was saying on Vlad's platform about how Rosenberg shouldn't be as high as he was, I guess, and stuff like that.
Oh, on
Rosenberg
the
getting
complex?
offended. Yeah, Rosenberg getting offended, and people like, dude, like no one goes to you for like interviews or like media, your takes or anything like that. Like you're a relic of the past, basically.
Yeah, but he One Up, bro. One Up is an OG staple in the hip hop podcast community. And he helped Joe Budden start this podcast.
I got no problem with Rosenberg.
Yeah,
I
me
don't
neither.
fully agree with him all the time, but I got no
But nah, I
problem.
don't fully agree with anybody. But overall, bro, it's the what I feel is what Russ saying and what Russ doing is it's like I know journalism's struggling. I'm trying to help you. Like I'm paying you to pay me. I mean to interview me. And I just didn't like the approach of the girl calling him not talented. Cause like this is when we get into, to me, the entitlement I feel, the sense of entitlement from journalists that I've been seeing for the last few years. When it comes to like, oh, this artist don't come to me, but he'll go here. Like
That's what Elliot does. Kind
yeah,
of.
yeah. I'm talking about him as well. But one thing about Elliot, he's still competing, even though he could talk his stuff, but he's putting something behind it. Like he's not sitting in idle. He's actually putting in the work to try to get himself back in those positions to get the artist. Because he's what, the last big Drake interview in hip hop?
Little Rap Radar?
2018?
It was around Scorpion.
So it was around him and when he won the
Beat
shot.
Up.
So it was around 2018. So he has the last Drake interview pretty much. It's in hip hop.
And I think Elliot might have the last Jay-Z interview too with 444.
In hip hop because he also went to like the Times and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm just saying this. I don't know her name, but she's the lady that does the interview. Somalia. Soyamaya. Like with her, she was telling like how Drake could go to this fishing like magazine in Toronto, but I'm like, he was promoting his clothing, so what if he don't go to like regular journalists no more? He can do what he want. The power dynamics has changed. You have power and he has power. It's just how you use your power.
I think the problem is that I gotta give you a little bit of pushback. I don't think they have the power because they don't have a platform as strong as like a XXL or a Source, like how it was back then.
I'm saying they freelance with them. I'm saying, but you don't need them no more.
No, but see, this is the problem though with that. So back then, XXL and Source had the power because that's what people.
They pushed the.
That's what people went to.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like I can promote my own music. I can put out my own music. It's like people like her, or like an Elliot Wilson, or a company man to be exact. They don't work with like these big companies where it's like, oh, they could orchestrate the interview on their own, and like, oh, I need that company to help put my stuff out. Because I think we have the power when we build it. I don't think we have the power.
That's what I'm saying. That's your power. Go build it. That's
But
your power.
I think it's a lot harder though now because a lot of people ain't checking out that.
Whose
content
problem
like
is that? That's not nobody's problem. That's your problem. You can't put that on the artist.
No, I didn't put that on the artist.
I'm not saying you. I'm talking about them. That's why I'm like.
I'm thinking that. Okay, that's the problem with their entitlement because they're like, well, we're older because we're talking about you.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
That's my thing. Like, yes, most of these people like she even said that, yo, I interviewed J. Cole, she interviewed Kendrick in the earlier stages. But like you said, it's no more superstars. In her video, she was saying how like there's no more superstars because it's too many people that we have too much access to them. You said we don't have much access. She said we have too much access.
So this is why I got to give her pushback because it's like it's one of those things where it's like we have too much access of what we know about them, but we don't have access to actually reach them.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And that's the problem with something like a Source or a XXL. Back then, we had to get our information by having to get up, going somewhere to buy a magazine to read it. We don't need that anymore. That moved to articles, and now it's video format is king. Yeah. And guess what? Not everybody wants to be knowledgeable about. And this is back in the day where people would send their albums in weeks early to get the review, so you could be hyped for it. Nowadays, No, we don't. They don't do that
And
no
now,
more.
and now what
Unless
they do,
they're really cool with
and
you.
I'm saying what they, not even they really cool with you, if they want something back from you. Like, a lot of artists can go straight to a Twitter influencer, a Twitter guy they'll send them the album, or they'll give them come to the release party. Like, it's different ways you got to play the game now.
Because the game's changed.
It's changed.
The
And
internet.
That's what I'm saying. The internet changed, and like we watched it. Like, bro, our generation, us growing up, we was on the blogs. Like, yes, I knew journalists back then, but I was on blogs. You know, that's how I got all my insight on things. And yes, I used to buy Complex, but I wasn't a double XL guy. Like, I'm on blogs, bro. I'm on High New Hip Hop. I'm on Two Doughboys. I'm on that stuff trying to figure things out. I'm on Kanye Tuda. Like, I'm on these forums and stuff. Like, that's when you saw the change of it. And then once we have access to our artists, and they can actually comment back to us on Twitter like, hey, yo, when you gonna do this? Or, oh, right here, boom, boom, boom. Or artists being like, yo, I'm in the area, yo, somebody gonna pull up, let's do a meet and greet. I think it's different now. So I'm like, just get with the times. Stop feeling like it's not gonna go back. You just gotta progress. That's my thing.
And so this is my thing, and I wanted to say this so bad. Yeah. You are stuck if you have that mindset that girl had in that video. Because this is my thing. She sounds like the purest hip hop head. Hip hop ain't the same as it used to be. Pure journalism isn't the same how it used to be. Duh.
But look, one thing about her that I agree with is that, well, it's not agreeing with one of her points. It's just what she's doing. She made her own platform.
It's a caveat.
Like, yeah, she made her YouTube. She's putting out the work.
As you should.
As you should. And like, I understand. I went back and read some of your old articles, like her old articles and stuff like that. Because like, I like to understand, like, okay, what's your background? I just don't want to crap on you, man. Because I like the video because it gives me a different perspective from like the journalists.
To me, it felt like an entitlement, though.
Because
even this weekend, when you probably saw not my back and forth, but my comment when someone said, journalism is as important as the media itself. They was like, the media needs the journalism. I'm like, no, the media can operate without the journalism. Yeah. Especially when journalism, I hate to say it like this, is basically reactionary content and putting stuff into the context.
Facts.
Putting stuff in context. Because... And he or she said, that's like, it's complimentary. You need the hot dog and the ketchup. I was like, no. I was like, the media is the hot dog. I need the hot dog to eat a hot dog. I don't need the ketchup to eat the hot dog. No. Like, I don't need an article. I don't need an interview. I don't need outside media for me to listen to hip hop. I don't need that stuff.
So it's like I'm open to be wrong in this stuff because I'm not an insider.
We don't have the numbers or analytics.
And I wasn't around during this time, but I want to just ask. Okay, she said this in the video. I think her name is Sumaya.
I gotta look it up.
But she said that you don't need to create your story, tell your story. The journalist should tell your story for you. You need someone that it's like if I'm trying to help on my mental health issues and I don't have a therapist because a therapist went to school and learned all this stuff. So I need you for therapy because you're a professional therapist. So since you're a professional journalist, I need you to tell my story. I don't understand it because how else I connected with these fans, especially like with introspective artists that actually tell their stories in their music. I didn't need the journalist to tell that story. So I don't know, that kind of messed me up, her saying that. Like, just because
I think the thing is...
Because you're a professional writer.
I hate to say it like this, journalists are more so there to help contextualize certain things, to get specific with it. It's kind of like what our interview that we had with Quadri, which if y'all haven't seen that, go check that out.
Check it out.
It helped contextualize certain things, and he helped explain it.
Yeah.
But we got a good amount of his story from the lyrics.
Yeah.
We just want to know his inspiration and how he thought about doing that. But we don't need that in order to enjoy the music. Right. It helps us gain a better appreciation for it, but it doesn't help us. It can help some enjoy it more.
Yeah, it could.
But
I remember.
Yeah, because it can help you enjoy it more. But journalism, I hate to say it like this, in this day and age, at least the way it was back then,
it's different.
It's
now.
Not needed. Like that journalism of like, I gotta interview the rapper. No. I think and I think also the thing is, I think we're now confusing like, oh yeah, Kaiser isn't a hip hop journalist. He's not. I consider him hip hop media.
Yeah.
And my thing is this:
I don't consider him hip hop media. I just consider him a media platform now because he had John Cena on last night.
Yeah, I agree.
But he also a rapper though.
Hey, he said hip me. Hey, you gotta find them out. Didn't make no album.
That's true.
But my thing is, I think the thing is, journalists now are in the same pool with just people who make hip hop media content. Yeah. So now y'all are just hip hop media.
Yeah,
that's all it is. But then again, it's like we're journalists too because we're reporting on news, we're reporting on current events.
We're trying to fact check. We don't,
Yeah, but
we
also
put out misinformation.
Journalist wise, I looked up the definition earlier. It's just people reporting on stuff.
Yeah.
I can just report on something. I'm a journalist. Journalism isn't the same as it used to be. Hip hop is not the same as it used to be. The way we consume these interviews and got this complimentary service of actually getting to know the artist is not the same as it used to be. We have more access. Everything's gone digital. I hate to say like this, I just need to move with the times.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
Y'all got to beat the competition. Like Elliot says, you got to compete.
And it's so crazy that the rap is like, it's not vice versa. Like the rappers are not complaining about not having journalists.
Well, I mean, because the one time they did, all these journalists want to get
And
on
then
them.
the journalists, then it comes to the point where the journalists attacking these people. Like the girl talking about Russ tweeting me and like he's talented or something.
Oh yeah, I'll be here in 10
10
years.
years.
Where will you be, ma'am? I'm pretty sure Russ sold like what?
Yeah, like
80K last year or something like that or something.
I just don't understand. It's like, I don't know. I'm open to be wrong. I love to have this conversation with a journalist. I love to discuss it, bro.
I mean, Russ says it right here. He says, naturally, as artists, we have stuff to say, but we want to go where the majority of eyes are, which is like streamers. Nobody cares about reading interviews on magazine outlets
don't. They
anymore.
don't
Video
do that
interviews are king, and video costs money, which of course. And really, the only solution is journalists, just like everyone else, have to build up their brand or fan base and name themselves so that they could attract artists to their platform, or artists just invest money in producing their own
Like I
interviews
said,
with respect to journalists and putting it their own platform.
And we're not trying to crap on journalists. We're just saying like the ones that are speaking and feeling entitled, build your brand.
I respect Rob Markman for doing this. I respect
And
the
Rob
company
still do
man.
Rob still do his thing with Genius. He's still with Genius.
Yeah, I'm
and
subscribed.
Company Man is and Company Man, like bro, you know who else I've been checking out a lot? Wayno. I love watching Wayno stuff.
You talk about it's just
it's just Wayno, but yeah, it's talking about.
I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, but I like Wayno stuff too, and like Wayno background is mostly with management and him working also with Def Jam at one point as like a mail carrier, and then he got himself working with State Property as like an intern and all that. Like his come up is like the regular hip hop fan coming up, and he had his background in industry, and he's creating his own platform. He's no longer with when he was with Everyday Struggle
and
Complex, and now he's making his own thing. It's like
I mean,
you just gotta move with the
Nadeska.
time. Nadeska. Now she's with Apple. Yeah, so it's like you just gotta move with the times.
You got to move with the times. You got to get in the right places. But also, it's like a lot of these journalists. I don't want to say like this. They didn't build up their platform previously.
Yeah.
Like Elliot Wilson. I hate to say it like this. I wish he would have made his own YouTube channel, even though it costs a lot of money and it would have been a lot of out of pocket stuff, and he probably wouldn't have the show without Hip Hop DX.
Yeah.
He should have had like a YouTube channel where he could put his own stuff out.
I think
Charlamagne. I respect that with his Out of Context series.
I think Elliot is gonna work on doing that. But what's a benefit for Elliot is also his name. His name.
Oh
is
yeah,
his
no,
brand.
he's cemented.
So he can go do that with his name because he's Elliot freaking Wilson.
Yeah, he's cemented.
Yeah,
But I'm saying like for someone like
it.
a Jeremy Heck too, he was used on other platforms and that helped gain.
He has his own thing as well because he used to work with Hip Hop XD.
Hip Hop XD and
he used to be on the whatchamacallit. He used to be on the
before they were famous.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did that with that dude. Okay, because
that's what I'm saying.
He's Canadian too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, these people also got help by getting by being on other platforms to help build their name. That's what I was saying, and it kind of helps give you a bit more credibility with them as well.
And one thing with Elliot, I don't know the backgrounds with him. What's they stuff on the bigger pictures on?
It's on Hip Hop DX. Up Rocks.
Up Rocks. Okay.
Just like I think Talib Kweli's podcast.
Yeah. So what's so dope about like Elliot with him being who he is and his name is his brand, he don't have to focus on losing money. If I don't know if he's putting his own money into some of this stuff, but he can just profit over there. He could just make his money and move in other directions and do his other things.
Plus, he has something else on there too, the Elliot Wilson experience.
Yeah. So
where he's interviewing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think it's dope that we all have our own straight to consumer. We can just go get on YouTube and just do this, bro.
But I think this is like one of those things where like that's why G4 failed.
Yeah.
That's why IGN isn't as high as they used to be unless they do something super controversial.
Because you got all these other creators.
You got all these people who do like their own content. You kind of like who you like. You stick with them.
Build them personalities.
Like G4 is like, that's an old dated format. Like why am I going to go to a TV show about video games? Like, yeah, it's cool for nostalgia for the first few months. But after that, it's like I'm going to a video game show just to see content I could have watched on someone else's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes it's like I don't need something that's that overproduced.
Facts.
I want something, especially in this day and age, where parasocial relationships are at an all-time high with us looking at people at a screen. We just watching something. We kind of want more of that genuine like experience.
And bro, it's competition. How we look at it, bro. Like y'all probably bigger than us now. But y'all fooled us.
Oh yeah.
Like we want what y'all got.
We want what y'all got and want.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing.
We putting in that
and
work.
Look, it's like, bro, you in a whole new field now, man. Like, just you've been here for a while, man. Come on, stop being entitled.
Yeah. My thing is this: it's like ain't nothing owed to you just because you listen to that music and you like it. And see, I kind of have this with fans too. Like, oh, like, where's the new album at? And then people be like, you're not entitled to a new album, but I'm their fan.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's putting money in their pocket. So it's like, if you don't want to feed me, I'm going to go somewhere else where I'm getting fed.
Another thing I thought about as well, that it can be a harder adjustment for them just because they came from this and now it's this. And for us, we know this. So we coming for it like for how we know it. This is how we know it. We don't know how they know it. So it's kind of a conflict with them being how things used to be and now it's like this. It's just like you said, it's like how she sounded in that video, like a traditional hip hop head. It ain't like the same thing like it used to be.
No lyrics, no nothing.
Yeah.
Where's the third verse? Man, this ain't that no more.
Yeah, it's different. I was working on this stuff, man.
I see. Look, the internet done effed y'all game up.
Yeah,
everything moved over here, digital. We ain't gotta pay for ish anymore.
You gotta adjust to the times, man.
Like back then, y'all was having a salary. We had to buy a magazine to get this information, and y'all had it first. Now we all get it at the same time.
Facts.
So now you got to compete with a person that's just reacting to the album and giving a review. Like you got to compete with that person. You getting it at the same time as me.
Facts.
That's crazy.
Facts.
I never thought we'd get to this point when I was younger.
Yeah.
Obviously, as times has gone, you was like, okay,
We see where it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but we get it. Y'all get it at the same time as us now. You are competing with someone who just has a camera that just wants to put it up and go on Twitch.
Facts.
Like but you also got to come with good content.
Facts.
Nobody
you can't just get
BS.
a camera and do this because you got to be entertaining.
And you can't be just drama filled, giving us BS that we don't care about. Because a lot of these people, especially her, she wants to be, I want to say like drama-esque, sensationalizing. Like, why are you saying this? Like, you know you're gonna get a rile out of people. That's the only way that you can get people to a platform like that, especially without artists. Because let's be real, a lot of these journalists, maybe us included, don't nobody want to look at your review on this album. It's like, no, you're not part of the culture.
Yeah.
Like, just looking at you.
Like, we got to build our name. Nobody care about us right now.
Yeah.
We got to build a name for us.
But also, you can see, like, oh, for certain things, like, oh, we review an LL Cool J album.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, some young kids listen to this? Let's see what they talking about.
And they went over there and started to, y'all
But they
understand.
loved our Common album,
yeah,
though. And some people liked our Blue review. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like, you see our face with it, you could see, like, oh, we are part of the culture. We're part of hip-hop. Like, you know, we're fans of it. You know, it's kind of a bit more natural, especially to people who are really into hip-hop. They're like, oh, that guy looks like me.
Yeah.
I can say like this. We talked about before, it's tribalism in YouTube
Yes,
or in
sir.
media. Oh, I look like this person. I want to watch this because they kind of look like me. They can relate to
and
me.
I can relate to them.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Journalism, as y'all think it is, purist wise, is in the gutter. But hip hop media wise, a lot of people are thriving, man. Especially off this Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef.
Facts. They wanted to make their pockets grow.
Hey, it did. Bots and algorithms.
Yes, sir.
Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.